Evening all. Wasn't sure what to play tonight, and for some reason I landed on Zelda 2, so why don't we do that? I like Zelda 2. I know for some reason it's generally viewed as a kind of black sheep of the series, but I really do enjoy it. It's one of possibly a contender for my favourite Legend of Zelda. I'm just gonna let what this thing constitutes as an intro play, because why not? Assuming it does play. Maybe I should skip it forward just a little bit. There we go. I feel like it's really skipping over some of the context for what's been going on. Most adventuresome quest yet. Aren't there only 2 by this point? Sorry, the menu is a little difficult to... I never know which buttons do what. I know exactly what every one of these save files are. That's a lie. On the other hand, I do know where everything is, so I'm just gonna play. It's been a little while since I played this, so maybe I won't remember everything, but then I have played it a lot. I think I'll remember enough, hopefully. Let's go straight for attack. Why not? I normally just get things as they come, but that's probably not the most efficient way to do it. I can barely see them moving on the background. Generally, the darkness is good enough reason to... I feel like they do a pretty good job of guiding you to the right areas. And that's your first big barrier, the fact that all the caves are dark. That one's the only really manageable one because there's only one thing in it. It's not particularly worrisome. And that's good because you've got to go up here anyway. I always forget to kill this thing fast. Don't need to take those hits. I hate bubbles. You can barely see them and they risk knocking you into the water, which kills you instantly. Excuse me, briefly. How do I do the thing? That's the way. I don't know how the hell to... OBS, no, that's not what I want. I know you can't see any of this, but trust me, I'm having trouble. There we go. I feel like sometimes OBS makes things more complicated than they need to be. That intro does make your goal pretty... wasn't paying attention at all. Your goal, overall goal, pretty clear from the outset though. Basically there is 6 or 7? No, 6 palaces that you've got to beat. Much more straightforward than other Zelda games, I would think. Picking up items and stuff. I guess you're picking up items in this as well. They're almost purely just for progression. They all have a use. It's just it's not quite as what's the word? You're not using them constantly like you might be in, say, a Zelda 1. These things are annoying, but fortunately, this is about the most you see of them in this game. These first couple of areas. They're not very common after that. The frame rate is taking a hit, but then it always did. I guess I did take a few hits. It's really fairly simple, but I do like the moment-to-moment gameplay of this game. You have high and low attacks, which eventually becomes a bit more important than it is now. Particularly with the old iron knuckles. Attack is always handy. I mean, all of them are handy, but you feel the difference that attack makes the most, which is why it's always the most expensive. Thought I'd be able to duck under that. You can attack these things, but they take a lot of hits. Which I'm happy to demonstrate. Do we go for attack again? It'd be nice if I could get all the way up to another level of that now. Let's see what we can get. No, I didn't think that through at all. Guess I'll just have to get used to that. Magic isn't especially useful when I have none. Oops, I totally forgot that I wasn't doing that. Oh well, we'll survive. thing is, after you clear a dungeon, it will automatically give you experience up to the next level that you could get. So if you're particularly organised and manage to, say, time it perfectly so that you can get the most expensive thing out of that, is the way to do it, if you're so inclined. But it's probably more trouble than it's worth, and you totally don't need to do that. Not a knife again. Let's fight you properly. Also, I totally forgot that refills your life. Alright, that's exactly what I needed. These things are kind of annoying, but you don't really see much of those after the first palace either. I don't want you to fall off the edge of the screen, because I know you will. Wow, they're determined to make the ones that would be valuable drop shit, aren't they? I was just about to say I like all the bosses in this game, but that's not quite true. Oh, I'm getting my pants handed to me. I would say that I like all the... I mean, they all have a certain style to them, but there are two that aren't that interesting. In particular. That's the first palace done. Easy as that. We just have to go and do that a bunch of times. I was messing around with the randomizer recently, and that's always interesting. I always find the randomizer stuff interesting, if it's a good randomizer. And this one is pretty thorough. Not only does it randomise where, you know, items, enemies, and a bunch of other stuff for that matter, it also randomises the entire overworld. Everything you need is still on there, but good luck finding it. I mean, that's the whole challenge, isn't it? I tell you what, it does not make the one section that is basically a maze in this game any easier, having it completely jumbled up. There's something of a logic to it in this game, but once it's all random, you might as well be making a map, otherwise you're gonna get pretty lost. That's the only free spell, so to speak. All the others you need to have certain items to get. And certain items that are, you know, specifically for getting into those skull people. Getting into the wizards. If you talk to people, they'll give you hints and such. Not you, but other people. I'm gonna go down first. There's a little something I could pick up down here. If you know me, I'm never one to leave stuff on the table. I guess most of the other Legend of Zeldas don't really have magic as a comparable stat to life, do they? I guess Link to the Past had a magic meter, but there wasn't that much in the way of increasing it or making it more potent, like say magic containers in this game. It's like that one thing that makes you drop your usage to half and that's it. Not quite the same thing. Though undeniably useful. Keep getting distracted by those. No one's dropping experience. That's a thing we need. Trust me. I watched a speedrun for this at some point, it's just incomprehensible. Pretty much any time it gets in a warping and basically just breaking in the game in such ways, it's... I've never been able to get into speedruns quite like that. I've seen more appeal in and that's probably just a me thing, but I'd just like to see games done quickly. Maybe that's a cliche, but like glitchless stuff. And I know some games do have scenes for that sort of thing. It definitely doesn't seem to be the norm for most games. Drop something useful for a change, god damn it. Fighting those things can get hectic, especially when you've still got bugger all attack. And you have to be fighting them for a while. Just counting my castles on the screen, god damn it. I don't feel safe here at all. Especially if I do something stupid like that. could have gone... There's a ferry right near here anyway. I could have gone and gotten that. I hate the swamps. Recover from my mistake. In a way, it's kind of weird that this game has lives in that sense. It doesn't really contribute to the game in any real way. I mean, I guess you want to have some kind of penalty for dying a bunch, but it just doesn't really add anything. You die in one spot most of the time, or your only option is to run back anyway. You lose a bunch of experience, no doubt. Bagu is his name. Frodo Bagu. That's my joke, don't steal it. Ow. There's hardly any point fighting these things, and I generally don't. I don't know why I tried to just then. I think there's a thing here. I've never been quite clear on what these things are supposed to be. I mean, they're kind of like those things you fight in Faxanity, but something is telling me that's probably not what it is. This is one of the easiest spells to get. You don't even need to leave town. Which is good, because it's also one of the most useful. Unless you're good at the game. You can imagine why a spell called Life might be handy. I like a lot of the music in this game. I'm not saying that because this is a particularly striking example of it, but just for the record. I suppose I could have talked to you too. Too late. I don't know who Bagu is or why I need to talk to him to get past this river. Who is Bagu? Why does he live out in the forest in the middle of nowhere? Surrounded by bad shit? Why do the river gods give a damn about Bagu? What did he do? Who is he? I'm gonna go for the next attack because I could use some in this area. That's right there. Only need 32 more experience. If I remember correctly, you'll probably drop somewhere around 50. No, 30. Okay. That's close enough. A lot of the enemies in this game have different names than you would expect if you were looking at the series. Like, bats in most of the Zelda games are called Keese, if I remember correctly. But in this one, they're something else. I don't remember them because who the hell would? Bats are called something weird, the spiders are called something weird, I guess I'm not sure what that would be expected to be. These things really, really suck. Unfortunately, the best way to deal with them is with a spell that you can't get until after you've gone through this area and fought most of them that you're going to fight in the game anyway. Which is real handy. These things are always a challenge. They do a lot of damage for where we are in the game. And given how much goddamn fights you have to go through to get through this area and get the item you need at the end of it, you really don't want to risk actually running out of lives and going back to the start. Because it's no easier to get back here the second time. I need that now, don't I? All of a sudden, from being mostly useless, magic becomes more life. And everyone needs life. Oh god, dog's going off. Don't mind that thing. I'll get over it. Yeah, he got over it. Probably. Evening, Strider? I don't know why I wasn't ready for that. Keep getting distracted. God, you have to fight so many of these things. They're so dangerous. And they're dropping absolute garbage. That one makes it easy. I would say those red things we'll bump into in a second. They're probably one of the most unfair enemies in the game. But they might be less unfair if you bumped into them later in the game, but most of them are around here, and this isn't far beyond the start. They do a bunch of damage. They're probably one of the hardest things to avoid in the game. And you need that item I just picked up, and it's right at the bottom of this labyrinth. I also like how it makes you run all the way back despite the fact that you would have cleared everything out to get there. Unless you didn't, then that's on you. They're dropping so little of the experience badges. There's been like one this whole time I've been playing. Oops. Don't want to go back in there, thank you. What I will do is fend off these overworld enemies. One's just waiting right at the edge of your screen, ready to knock you into the lava and kill you instantly. I can fight them the cheap way or the proper way. And do, and will. I didn't ever put much effort into fighting these things. Just stab them. You might get hit, but mostly you're fine. Let me rephrase. I can fight them the cheap way or the presumably intended way. I really put the salt in the wound at that last one, having you have to deal with the bubbles and one of those things. The bubbles are bad, the red things are bad. They're not a good combination. But at least while you're getting hit by the bubbles, you can't be getting hit by the red thing. I don't know what they're called. I was just about to go over there, but that's not the direction I need to go just yet. There are two things I need to get before I should bother doing that. One of which is in here. How familiar are you with this game, Strider? Messed up. I really don't need to kill that, but can't hurt. I feel like the sort of two-level fighting thing is not really something that you... I don't think that I can name another game that had a system like that. And not only attacking high and low, but also defending high and low. And here's the second thing I need. Strictly speaking, more necessary than the heart container. But who's gonna pass up a heart container? Not me, that's for damn sure. I think this is the last one of these we see for a while, if not ever. Never mind, this one is. It's like the only one you get a chance to corner. I almost fucked that up. I'd have to go at the Zelda 2 randomizer on stream, but it's kind of a lot. Like, I feel a little more of a lot than most randomized things. There's no semblance of order like there is in the likes of... Oh wait, I totally didn't need to get that stuff before on the next palace, but whatever. Doesn't matter. There's no semblance of order because the entire overworld is randomized. And that's... you know, there is fun in that. It forces you to explore in ways that you might not otherwise, if you know the game well. But also, finding anything is just... From what I experienced of it, finding anything is a hassle. The most important thing in the game. I feel like it's one of the most fun moves in any game like this. Being able to bounce on stuff. I guess that's true of other games, like, that have that sort of ability as well. Like, I don't know, the first example that pops into mind is Hollow Knight. I went and got the thing, come on, let's go. The temptation to hit the speed up button at all times is quite great. It's a bad habit that I got into. Now I can turn into a fairy because that's useful. I guess there's weird spells in this like there are in the other games. So now that I've said that, I'm not actually sure what I mean. I don't even remember what's in Ocarina of Time. I really don't know Ocarina of Time that well. it never quite gripped me in the same way that it seemed to have gripped everyone else. And part of that may have been coming to it later than most people would have, since we did not have a 64. Makes moving through this area a hell of a lot faster. And a lot of other areas. This was probably the first Zelda I played. We had Zelda 2 but not Zelda 1. We didn't have a 64 either, so we didn't have the likes of Link to the Past as well. So at some point we wound up with a Game Boy and played the likes of Link's Awakening. Oh god, I cannot handle these things, can I? At a rough guess, I would say that I probably played in the order of this, Link's Awakening, probably the Oracles, and I think at some point we wound up with Link to the Past on the GBA. What other games were there? It might have been around there that I played, that I discovered emulators and wound up with playing things like, or attempting to play Operator of Time and Majora's Mask, and didn't really stick with them. I would play through Majora's Mask again, but it seems like the ideal way to do that would be to get it on the 3DS, and I don't want to have to go through the hassle of finding a cheap copy of that, assuming such a thing exists. And then at some point Minish Cap. And probably Twilight Princess. That was awfully smooth what I did just then. I wasn't expecting that at all. Played Twilight Princess, and then I probably skipped straight from that to Breath of the Wild. I don't think I've missed any. I probably have. Minish Cap is good. It's just a solid Legend of Zelda. Can't deny its effectiveness. And that's definitely more effective. Come on, you bastard. I don't trust these things at all. Apologies, I had to mute the mic so I could sneeze. come on. You can do it. It does make it easier to react, I must admit. I love that you can just do that to keep your momentum going. I didn't need to do that. But here we are. That one didn't want to give me a challenge. Just actively chose not to block a single attack. You can just wait and break those from below if you want to do it the safe way, but who wants to do that? I could try and fight that, but it's really not worth the trouble. Hello, behind Knuckles. They epitomise the combat of this game. Including how you can exploit them. Actually remember which way you go from here. I'm literally just holding B, holding down. I do love this music in particular. I know roughly how to play this on a keyboard. Except for the bass line of that section that just passed. If I remember correctly, it seemed a lot more complicated than the rest of the song, and I'm not actually good at playing the keyboard. I don't want to give anyone the wrong idea. But why did I panicked for some reason. It's an incentive to fight this one the cheap way because Lord knows you can't kill this thing before it would fall off the edge of the screen. we are again. Oh, bugger it. Do what you've got to do. Last one put me out of the mood of fighting Iron Knuckles. Didn't put much effort into that boss fight, did I? I do like how if you jump over this thing, you can't just leave without doing the thing you actually need to be here to do. There's really not much reason to do that. Unless you're particularly worried about experience for some reason. And you might be. Can't wait to get out of the swamp. I believe we're all set up to go straight to the next place. We can head straight there. That was effective. I don't really know what the differences between the different colours of those things are. I know the red ones are tougher than the orange ones. And possibly throw those boomerangs more often. Don't really know the difference between red and blue though. Hate these things. Don't mind telling you. That was never gonna work, but I had to try. Wish I had upward stab. Downward stab is nice, but it lacks the flexibility of having both. Brilliant idea was it to have these things return, because I hate them. these things aren't so much of a challenge as they are annoying. I just couldn't help it. That's the wrong game, Abby. There's a slight visual difference. I know they're similar. Unless you're just telling me to listen for some reason. In which case, no. Yes, that's the one. Well done. But what about Zelda 2? I think there is anything this way, but let's go this way anyway. That's quite an image you've put in my head, Abby. I think this way is the way that isn't worth going, so I should go in. You know, video games. I could be wrong. It has been known to happen. If you insist. Life's getting up pretty quickly. It only goes up to 8. Oh, right, these things. Forgot they start showing up here. Who throws a sword? I guess these could be knives, but... Yes, thank you. Yeah, he won't have anything to attack it with if he runs out of knives. Or maybe he has one sword he keeps in reserve. In reality, he never runs out. But I think that would be the logical compromise. You want to throw a bajillion knives? Well, you better have something to back it up. They fall out of existence, so I don't know if you can. No, wait, they don't fall out of existence, do they? They just disappear. Zelda 2 needs a physics engine. That's what we've learned here today. guess there is a reason to come here. Some of them there isn't. It's always fun. These rooms are always a nightmare. I believe there is more than one. There is that one, I don't remember what it's called, but that one thing of Super Mario Bros. 1 where everything's jelly. You can find that on the internet. It's very silly. And also that Mario that is Portal. Like, literally, the portal gun in Mario, that exists. Because of course if any of this stuff happened, it would be with Mario 1. There's not much point in fighting all those, I don't think it'll clear 2000. This boss is pretty damn difficult if you don't have downward stab. I don't think it's impossible, but this is certainly the way to do it. I apologize, Strider. I tried to catch it in the air. I don't know that this MacGuffin is any less valid than running around rescuing ladies in crystals, for example. It is kind of weird though. For reasons we can't be bothered to explain, the seal on this one place that you actually need to go is you need to do a thing in all these other places. It's like the worst of Serious Sam times 10. I don't think there's any reason to remain here. Well, thanks. Things that we're just floating eyeballs. They're not even the only floating eyeballs in this game. Anyway, I don't know why I'm finding everything here. a lot of damage for a floating eyeball. I think if there's any floating eyeballs in Castlevania 2. Specifically, Castlevania 2. Though I guess other Castlevanias as well. I think there's one? But I might be thinking of a different game. Maybe I'm thinking of Castlevania 3. They drip on you. Does that sound reasonable? It occurred to me that I forgot a spell, but that doesn't matter because it's not essential. Just let me go already. Eventually the game ditches the roads and just... you're constantly dealing with the overworld enemies. In this area and the area after the 2 palaces from now. The bullshit way of fighting those is still effective, just not as effective. And they have their own bullshit. You have to run back and forth through this area because you need to rescue the kid, then you have to go back to the town on the other side of this whole area. Then you've got to go back because the spell you get for doing that, you need to make any real progress in the next palace. Which is back over there in that maze area. This section's really just a bit of a hassle. Especially when you have to go through this every time. Why can't you just build roads that don't have massive holes in them? Why are there bubbles anyway? Who's carbonating the ocean? Rivers, I suppose it would be in that case, but still. Come here on your phone. Could I ever get out of the way? I'm trying to talk to this magic lady. I don't know if the game tells you about this person here. They probably do, because how the hell would anyone found it otherwise? Who this chump is teaching you how to hold your sword in a particular direction. What's up with that? rescue the kid, let's go. I don't know if it's her kid or someone else's kid, but either way, I rescued a kid and I want a reward for it. Pray to the wizard. Thank you. Now we can move on with our life. In the interest of speeding things up and simultaneously making things potentially more interesting, while also making it more likely I'm going to get myself killed. It's a bad area to do it in. This is fun. Because I missed that spell earlier, there's some enemies that I literally cannot kill. I will stop the speed up at the next palace and not beforehand. Possibly not even then. Depending on how I'm feeling. Didn't need to go that way. I always feel like this game runs a little bit slower after speeding it up, but that could just be perspective. I actually get a fair bit of experience. I usually ignore them. Maybe that's a mistake, considering how incredibly easy they are to deal with. Provided you have the magic to do so. Come on, you bastard. If I did just do it, it sped up. I promise it'd be very good. I don't know, it'd be interesting. I've made mistakes. Get out of the way, GeForce experience. I don't like this palace very much, as they go. I brought you into this world, I'll drop you out of it. That image amused me. They scoot forward just then. Determined to drop those. Whether I want it or not. I'm not sure what my plan is here. I don't know how the hell I blocked that. I'm glad I did. I like the down attack sprite. I don't know what's going on there, but... Oops. Put the most annoying enemies on these things. Away from me. Forgot about you. Seems inefficient. In the interest of saving time. I didn't have to do that. I don't know why I felt compelled to. I very much did it on purpose, but why? I think I'll call it at the end of this pass. I'll probably play the rest of it some other time. There's a fair bit of downtime when you're just blowing through it like this. I need that key. Probably. I do need that key. Just in time. That could not have been better timed. The one time I ever needed a magic level to refill my magic. This isn't how I want to spend my time. I don't need to fight you, but I will. Just out of some misplaced sense of completion, it seems. Here we go again. And spend a little bit of magic and do this probably. But no matter. I don't remember which way I have to go, so let's go this way. Did I? Oh no. I don't know if I'm going the right way. I'm not going the right way. I need another key. Here we go again. Why are there so many of these rooms in this goddamn palace? That was lucky. Every right to be suspicious. They keep doing that. No intention of dying here today. Again. I like how my mute button did not work just then. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Super didn't need that even the slightest bit. And now the best boss that could ever be conceived that is definitely engaging and fun to fight. Carrick, ladies and gentlemen. What a loser. No better than his Wizrobe friends. Anyway, that's as good a place as I need to leave it. Because I don't want to have to go and walk all the way back and go to the next place. But we'll come back to this at some point. I don't know when, but at some point. Got an awful lot of free time on my hands these days, as many of us do. Anyway, bugger off. Bye everyone.